Hello, everybody. If anyone's out there, glad to have you here with me. Hey, Dane. Good to have you with me again. Today I'm just going to do work on this bowl here. It's a big piece of willow oak that I have. Don't know if I'm going to finish the project. This is just a chat about things, about turning, and what issues you might have or suggestions you have or anything like that. Well, I'm glad you can hear me, Dane. I spent the last 15 minutes trying to figure out why the microphone wasn't working again. Right now I'm just changing the settings on my coal jaws so I can put this bowl in there and round out the, get the bottom round again. It's, after drying, it gets elliptical and it won't sit in the jaws of the chuck properly. There was one like this. I'm gonna bring the tailstock up because it's not held into the jaws as well as I'd like. Might as well be safe. Is pronounced Tournage du Bois? Did I get that right? The idea right now, I have a mortise already cut in this one for when I roughed it out, but it's far from round and I got to get it back. Thanks, appreciate that. I have a new Bedan tool that I'm going to try to use to get the mortise round again. This is what Ashley Harwood uses and what she suggested I use. Well, today I don't usually have my normal assistant with me. She's down visiting my mom. They're celebrating my mom's birthday. Got a lot of work in the shop that I'm trying to catch up on, but I wanted to do a quick video live session today. And I had set it up, probably a couple weeks ago. So that's why I'm doing it today. Again, I'm just getting the mortise round. I'm going to also flatten out the bottom a little bit so it'll sit in the chuck better. But I'll use my Easy Wood Tools Easy Finisher for that. So I took the Ashley Harwood private lesson, and she would honestly, if she saw me using the Easy Wood Tools, she'd probably be cringing right now. She's not a fan. It's not quite there yet. Is that a better look for everybody? So I agree with you about the carbide tools. I do have them. I do use them from time to time. And I agree, if you look at Ashley Harwood's page, she's got a video on why her problems with the carbide tools, and she makes a lot of good points, though I feel that there's sometimes, boy, they are nice to have and nice to use. And when it comes to hollowing out hollow forms, there's no substitute, really. I don't think that's quite round yet. So this is my gouge of choice for most of the time. It's an Ellsworth gouge, and I use his grind. And as you might see, it's probably getting time to get close to replacing it because it's getting kind of short. But this is really my favorite of all my lathe tools. All right, now I can turn it around and put it in the chuck. But I do have to put a little bit of a dovetail on that. I do have to take the tailstock away for doing that. All right, time to put on the regular chuck. So I'd also like to say happy birthday to my mom. We were there last weekend, and if you go on my channel, you'll see the last video I did was a maple salad bowl I did for my mom, and I was pretty happy with how that came out. All right, so here I'm ready for finish shaping the outside of the bowl. I think I want to go with, I've got an idea for the shape here. think it's gonna be rounded in like this, and I'll back cut the inside a little bit, and I might do some embellishments on the outside here. So as far as sharpening carbide, I had a tree business years ago, and I had a stump grinder, and it had carbide teeth, and I had the equipment to sharpen that. Though I mean, it was very rough, and they never, it was just, obviously to tear through stumps and dirt and everything else. But sharpening those bits, I would have to imagine you'd have to rub them on. Would you rub them on a sandpaper or something like that on the top cutting edge? It would be my guess. But I do know you can buy, if you don't buy the official Easy Wood Tools brand, you go on onto Amazon and you can buy a big package of the ones that come for different cutting tools. It's the same size, same hole and everything, and they're very cheap. Especially you can buy them in a big package. That's no good. So one of the things that Ashley had talked about is that the hand that you're putting on, holding it onto the tool rest, should only be applying downward pressure. It should not be moving the tool at all. All of that should be done by pushing on the back of the tool and allowing it to cut. And you should be directing it with that hand and just merely all this is the front hand is doing is holding it down on the tool rest, nothing more. And if you do it, and what I've noticed when we're having the lesson is that if you do move it, you get little ridges on the side of your cut when you're applying any movement with that front hand. Another thing is to keep yourself positioned in such a way that you're doing the swing in one movement with your hips without moving your feet. And I did move my feet on that last one, and it did make a difference. You can see, caused me to have a bit of a ridge right here on the cut. And another critical thing is to make sure you're sharpening enough. Well, I'm going to take your advice. I think I'm going to try sharpening. I haven't thrown my old bits away. I don't hardly throw away anything, but I'll hold on to them. But that's a good idea. I'm going to take your advice on how to sharpen them. Right now I'm using my heavy bowl scraper to flatten out the outside of the of this cut, and then I'll move on to the inside of the bowl. So I've got a couple big projects I'm working on. One is turning, one is not. The turning project is going to be a segmented vase. I'm not going to let you know of anything else, let you see it when I finish it. I'm pretty excited about it. And the other one is I'm actually building a river table. When I finish this today, I'll actually be going in and pouring the epoxy on that. And hopefully have that done in the next week and a half. It'll take about, apparently the deep pour epoxy takes about 5 days for it to cure. That was just to get my rim straightened out. Now I'm going to work on the inside. And I have a kind of a steep angle on the sides, and then it flattens out to the bottom. So it's not going to be a smooth transition. It's going to be more of an angle, which is kind of not something I typically do, but you got to change things up from time to time. bit of a ridge. Still got a lot left on the bottom. Got my Thompson's 3/4 inch bottom bowl gouge. I don't use it that often, but boy, it sure is nice to have when you need it. No, you heard right. I'm building a river table same time as I'm doing all this. Take a little bit more. All right. I feel like that's pretty good. Have it peer over into the inside here. Well, it looks pretty good. I'm going to do some basic sanding on the outside real quick, and then I'm going to look at doing my embellishments that I want to do. Excuse my air compressor. Dane, I saw that you said you have your spur drive stuck in your headstock. If it won't beat out with the knock rod, I would say if you can lock your spindle in place and give it a gentle twist with a pair of channel locks. if you had possibly seen, I had a hollow form I had done earlier on, and I had done some embellishments on the top with a burr on my Dremel, and I think I'm going to do the same thing here. Boy, it's amazing when it gets down to the end grain, it's fighting a lot more. A little carried away in a couple spots. Otherwise, eye's not too bad. Let me get my detail tool and try to straighten that out a tiny bit. Yeah. Hey, David. Midnight Joker, hello. Bailey Woodworks, hello. Thank you for joining me. So, do the little bit of detail here, just to change things up a bit. Pretty happy with how that came out, actually. When I finish sanding the whole thing, and I think I'm going to use Danish oil on this one, just a straight up oil finish. And when I finish sanding it, but beyond that, so what kind of things are you guys working on? Do you have any questions about what I've been doing, or comments about what I've been doing, or anything like that? Hey, Oliver. So Bailey, I've noticed you've got I think you got about the same number of subscribers as I have. Just curious, has your viewers dropped over the past couple months? Because mine have plummeted. I don't know what I'm not doing anything different than I have been. It's very, very frustrating. Any of you guys who have your own channels, you seeing any of the same things? Or I mean, it's some of the things I've seen is that this, now that COVID is starting to pull back a little bit, that viewers in general have dropped. I'm not sure if that is 100% the case. I have no idea. I know it is for me. Yeah, David. My son, on the other hand, he does a car page, and he's been shooting through the roof. But yeah, it is a little frustrating. Yeah, when I see Bailey, that you said you stalled on subs. Yeah, mine's been maybe, where I was getting 4 or 5, 6 a day. Now I get one a day, maybe one every day and a half. Couple days I get a couple, and I get lucky, but it has been creeping along. It's one of the reasons I'm doing the big segmented project I'm doing, hoping that might kickstart things. I'm hoping that River Table kickstarts things. So we'll see. Dane, if you're going to buy a pressure pot, so I bought the one from Harbor Freight. It's pretty cheap, and if you want to do the conversion over to using it for epoxy casting, it's pretty cheap to buy the parts that you need to change it over, and it works. You can't put a huge piece in there. You're pretty limited. but it does work. I use mine a lot, and I like it. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Bailey. Quality of content is huge. I actually have a guy coming over. He was supposed to be here tomorrow, but our weather's been terrible, and forecast was not too good. But he's going to video a new intro video for me on my channel page. I don't know what good that'll do, but I can't afford myself to have a person come in who knows how to film and do it for me. I'm all on my own. Me and my two GoPro 5s is what I got. I try to learn and get a little better with my videos. I think my videos now are better than when I started. But I see videos that I like, and I go, boy, I wish I could do that. But I don't know if I have the time to get to that point. Well, Midnight Joker, I hope that's just what you say. They're pushing commercial video channels. Maybe it is. I hope that's. I thought the whole point of the whole platform was to get as many people out there and showing their stuff as possible. Cracking that algorithm is the hardest thing that I've seen. Once in a while I think I've been picked up a little bit by it, and then something happens and it just goes away. My best video to date is my tour of my shop, and I've just now hit 2,000 video views on that, which for me is huge. I've only got 3 videos that have broken 1,000, but I don't know what else to do to get the more viewers. So there are there are some people out there who decide to try to use clickbait. I'm not doing that. Bailey, I think you're right. I work full time at a hospital in a facilities department, and I look at our COVID dashboard every day. It's on the system, and our numbers are down dramatically, thank God. And our department is finally able to start to get back and do some things that we weren't able to do before, but that's a whole different discussion. Yeah, Dane, I agree. You are definitely competing with others is what I'm doing and what we all are doing. But honestly, I see where you know I like to see other people's stuff as much as I like doing my own. I like to get ideas, and the best way to do it is to look at other people do their turning, see what they're doing differently. I enjoy seeing the different, and I don't look at them as I personally don't look at them as competition. I look at them as um, well, not coworkers, but we're all in this together, same team, so to speak. Hey, Tommy, how you doing? So, talk a little bit more. I'd mentioned how I had taken the a private lesson with Ashley Harwood. Charming lady. I enjoyed it a lot. She gives you a full day. She, she is. I will say she's got a lot on her plate, and I personally saw that she could use a private assistant because she's got a lot that she's trying to do by herself that she could definitely use some help for. And with that is a lot of contact after the sale would have been nice. But again, when all was said and done, and I got down there and we got down to the actual turning, like I said, she's very charming. She's very knowledgeable. But what I have found after the fact is that for me, and I will be using some of what she taught me, but a lot of it would take, honestly, it's like a golfer changing his swing after many, many years. She uses the 40-40 grind, and her reasons for using it and her demonstration of, and I had to use all her tools. And as she showed me how to do the cuts the way that she does them, it actually turns a bowl in a top to bottom completely different than what I do. I, I'm in this to learn more, and I'd like to get to the point. I just want to get. I don't know. It's an intangible. I want to get to that next level. In my own mind, looking at people like her and like Glenn Lucas. My wife and I have talked about taking a trip to Europe, and I've inquired about taking Glenn Lucas's classes, and that would be tremendous. But that's for the future once we get past this pandemic. Hey, Barry. Have any of you guys taken any classes with any turners that have been inspirational to you? Just curious. Tommy, I think you're right. Um, I agree. I use the one-way jig for sharpening my gouges. But after using the 40-40 grind and the way she explained it, you go, wow, she makes a pretty convincing argument. So yeah, but do I want to go back now and regrind all my gouges? Not sure. I'm still on the fence with it. I might want to take again a class with somebody else and see some of the what some of the other big name turners do. It would be nice to see. Does he do are those virtual classes, Bailey, that he's doing? Yeah, Tommy. I mean that's what I've been thinking about is trying one or getting another gouge and trying it and having maybe two sets. The old way and the new way. Dane, actually turned. I've actually turned three chess sets of the regular size pieces. My boys are naval officers, and they had been deployed actually together back in 2016, and we couldn't have Christmas together, so we had Christmas in July when they finally came back. And my goal was to turn a set for each of my 3 kids and give it to them at that point. I will tell you, I still haven't really gotten to where I think I'd want to ever turn another chess piece because there was a lot of them. I mean, I did all of each type of piece at one time. So I turned all of the pawns first off, and that was mind numbing by the end. And I did all the rooks, then all the bishops, then all the queens and the kings, and the last thing I did were the knights, of course, because they took a lot more work. But I'm also turning a big set of, about like this, because my wife is a quilter, and she's going to make me a chess board quilt that you could lay out. It'll be like 4x4, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to have a great big chess set. But I've only done about a third of them, and it's just finding the time to work on that project. And she hasn't started the quilt, so it's not like I'm in any hurry. But I enjoyed turning the chess sets, and I made the chess boards themselves also. I made them the same way I make my end grain cutting boards. So they were all end grain squares, and they really came out nice. I tried to use the same wood that I made for the pieces for each set. So one of them had one that was Padauk, and all of the light colored pieces were Bradford pear that I cut off my own trees in my old property. And then I used, the other one was rosewood and Bradford pear, and the board for my daughter was Purple Heart and Bradford pear. And I was pleased with how they all came out, but it was a ton of work. And people have asked me, would you make me a chess set? I'm like, just so you know, with the time involved, you're probably looking at $1,500 to $2,000. And that usually scares them off. Oliver, I guess I could think about it. My best-selling product is my bowls. I at work, I've kind of developed a reputation, and I've sold a lot of them at work. Actually, the gift shop in our hospital has actually purchased a lot of my product to sell at the gift shop, both bowls and mainly they buy my cutting boards, because the wood that I use actually came off the campus of the hospital itself. That's another big long story. We built a new heart hospital, and we repurposed a lot of the trees that came off that I had it milled and stored, and so when I make the cutting boards for sale at the hospital, I make end grain boards out of their wood, and the people throughout the hospital love getting their hands on them. So they've been a pretty popular item for me. Well, Dane, you in the service? Well, Dane, for whatever reason you're in Afghanistan, if you're in the service, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. I really do. Good. There's only less than, they talk about the one percenters. In my mind, the one percenters are the 1% in this country that have had have been the willingness to raise their hand and say, "I'll do it." And God bless you for being there. I really mean that. Oliver, I have a website that I set up through GoDaddy.com. You can do it yourself. It actually is. It's pretty easy. They'll set out a template, and you can change the pictures out and do a lot of changes to it yourself to tweak it. But it makes it pretty painless. You've got even a small amount of computer skills, you can easily make your own website with them. And I also have a Facebook page, business page, as well. And I even have an Etsy store. I don't have anything in it right now because I'm trying to keep everything out, build up my stock for the show in Southern Pines that I'm going to be doing. Southern Pines, if you don't know, is just adjacent to Pinehurst, North Carolina, where the golf community is. They've had the U.S. Open there several times, and there's crazy amounts of money there. And I've been told that this show, the word that the one guy who encouraged me to go was stupid amounts of money, and he told me my prices weren't high enough. So I like the sound of all of that, and I'm looking forward to being there. So it's one of the reasons I'm trying to build up stock of as many different things as I can, as many bowls as I can, and hollow forms and everything else. And so when I come home at night, I try to knock out one or two different bowls or whatever I can try to do, and just keep building up stock. Dane, my favorite wood to turn is Bradford pear. I don't know if you have it where you are. It's an ornamental tree that was planted a huge amount in the 1990s. They sold them at Lowe's and so forth, and they grow very, very fast. And they don't live very long, 25 to 30 years, because they're so thick, they push themselves to pieces. They've got very, very dense foliage, and when the wind hits them, they just tear them apart. But the wood is crazy hard, and the Janka scale, I'm not sure what it is, but it's up there with pecan. You know this, that pear wood was actually what they used to use to make the old wood drivers out of. But I love the color of it. It's kind of a salmon color, and it finishes like glass. I just absolutely love the way Bradford pear finishes. Fortunately, I have very little of it left, so as I drive around after storms, I try to keep my eyes open for people who may have lost one, and where I can stop and possibly bargain to get the wood by just cutting up their tree for them. But I also love turning pecan, though it can be challenging. It's even harder than the Bradford pear, and but it looks absolutely spectacular when done. But as far as overall, I'd say Bradford pear is my favorite. Yeah, Ken, I finally got it working. And Ken, Woody Van, he's the man who's encouraged me to go to the Southern Pines show. Thank you, Ken, for coming. I appreciate you being here. How do I price my work? Well, I try to do it. I try to have a wide range. Like if you look at back one of my videos, is I call it production bowls, and I made those for a show I was doing in the town I live in, which is a much more moderate income area, and they're not going to have money for a lot of the big expensive pieces where I do epoxy inlay on it and stuff like that. And so I try to have a wide range of bowls at different prices. And I've tried also a few new things too. Like I've never thought about turning pine before, but when I built my shop, I had a lot left over, some root balls and so forth. And I cut them into slabs. And if you look, I've done a few videos of it where I use the Japanese shosugi band technique, and I burn the outside of the bowl until it's got a good char on it, and then I hit it, with a wire wheel with an angle grinder, and take take it down to a fresher wood, but it gives you that raised grain on the outside and it really looks nice. And then I dye the bowl some vivid color, and those were very popular at craft shows that I've been to. I finish them with I dye them, and then I finish them with a polyurethane, several coats, and yeah, those have been a huge hit. And I'm trying now. I never thought I'd have a hard time putting my hand on pine, but right now I'm looking for some that has got less pitch pockets to it, and get something that it'll finish a lot faster. Can I turn the wood green to start with, and then I will leave it real heavy walls, and then I'll let it sit and dry. Really, you need to let it sit and dry for at least 6 months, if not a year. All of this stuff that I'm turning, and the piece that I'm turning today, that was all turned originally in 2015, 2016, and I've still got a lot of it left. I've still got, I probably still have more than 100 rough turn bowls that I've been working through left to go, and I've probably gone through 100 already. So my son is he's the one who keeps encouraging me to do the live feeds, and he uses this thing, this streaming one where other guys can get on the video as well. I tried to do that for today. I couldn't make it work, but I'm going to try to do that next time. It actually is kind of nice to have us all on the screen and talking. It works very well for him. He's got a MGB that he's renovating, and he's in on a lot of MG groups, and has had lots of success there. But he uses it all the time, and I need some young person to come here and show me how to do it right. StreamYard, that's the one. Yep. I tried. I set it up. It said that it was going to, but it sat there spinning on me, and it didn't seem to want to connect. So I don't know what I did. So. Ken, send me an email on that show in Lillington. I definitely want to do that. And Bailey, we're going to. I want to try to do this again in another couple of weeks. Maybe we can get it. I talked to you offline about the StreamYard and how to get it all set up. We can all do it. Some more of us can do it and get on the screen and have more of a give and take without me having to sit down and read. And I didn't bring my glasses with me, so I got to get close. All right, fellas. I appreciate you all joining me today. I do have to get onto my river table now. I want to get that poured today before I finish up for the day. Bailey, I get what you mean. I know that for every hour of time it takes me to film, it probably takes me 3 hours or more of post-production, I guess they call it, of editing. But yeah, it's a commitment, that's for sure. Ken, are you shouting at me? My wife popped in. She says, my mom says hello. Hello, Mom. I love you and happy birthday. Sorry I wasn't there today, but got a lot on my plate. I hope you understand. That's why I came last week. All right, folks. Again, thank you all for joining me. I really do appreciate it. This has been a nice give and take. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. You all please stay safe and have a good day. Bye-bye.